Hey there! If you're anything like me, you know that there's nothing quite like diving into a good fantasy game. And today we're going to do just that. But with so many upcoming games to choose from, how do we know which ones to get excited about? Well, I'm here to help. I've personally ranked all the upcoming fantasy games that I'm most looking forward to, and I can't wait to share them with you. From epic battles to mystical creatures, we'll explore each game's unique world and story. And here's the fun part. After each game, I want to hear from you. Do you agree with my ranking? What do you think I got right? And what do you think I got wrong? So grab your swords and ready your spells, because it's time to explore the most exciting upcoming fantasy games and have a little friendly debate along the way. Let's get started. Number 28, the Inquisitor. We'll be careful with the specifics, because we want to warn you that this game will not even remotely please those of a certain faith. Basically, the alternate timeline in which the Inquisitor is set is one where a significant religious person changed events to make life much more violent for non-believers. In a few years, you will be one of the Inquisitors tasked with purging the world of evil. But that makes it a little difficult to control in a city that is filled with sin and darkness, particularly as the mysteries keep piling up. Be careful how you behave in the name of the Lord, as your actions will have an impact on this tale. Number 27, yet another fantasy title. You're actually sort of in the wrong place if you're looking for a basic fantasy title here. For instance, the main character is a rogue who takes over the heroic part after taking a knight's sword and his unicorn. The battle has just begun after all. You'll embark on a journey to make your own name and defeat your enemies, receiving numerous allusions to previous fantasy books throughout. Number 26, For the King 2. For the King 2 carries on the previous game's desires to blend various types of original gameplay to create a truly unique experience. You'll be playing a group of citizens in this environment who must join together to put an end to the evil rule of the Wicked Queen. But it won't be simple to do that. You'll need to equip your citizens with the appropriate classes, send them on quests to advance, equip them with better armor and weaponry, and more. Additionally, you'll want to be careful not to engage in fights you can't win, given the game's JRPG and roguelike elements, which include dice that frequently determine your fate. Enjoy, because no two efforts will be the same.
Strength and courage. New alliances must be forged to bolster our ranks. The fate of Farul lies in the hands of the Resistance. The time to act is now.
Number 25, Crimson Desert. There are many games about survival that you can find, but what makes Crimson Desert so fascinating is that it actually gives you a vast and harsh environment to try and live in through the lands of Pywell. Not the least of which is that the lands are torn apart by conflict, and as a result, you need to be cautious about what you do in the lands, because the stories you create will define the stories to come. It will be necessary for you to enlist assistance from others, because going in alone is risky. I wonder if we've heard that before. Number 24, The Lords of the Fallen. You might remember that this was almost Lords of the Fallen 2. However, they simply added "the" before the title, and now everything is set for a 2023 PlayStation 5 release. Clearly, you'll be in a universe that is 5 times bigger than the first game in this RPG. No matter how you look at it, a genuinely vast experience is in store for you. Eitr, a demon deity who was long since vanquished, may soon rise again in the new game. As a result, you must travel through a number of worlds to prevent the demon deity from reawakening. What kind of warrior you decide to be will depend on the depth of the tale that lies ahead. Number 23, Phantom Hellcat. Are you up for something new? Real uniqueness, that's exactly what Phantom Hellcat is, and it's prepared to put on a performance for you. In the game, you take on the role of Jolene, a disobedient daughter whose mother served as the caretaker of a theater where demons are been held captive. The demons capture her mother when one of the prison seals is broken. In order to defeat the demons, Jolene must now master the stagecraft her mother mastered. The stage will change and show different objects depending on which world you are in. But take care, stagecraft is very much on show in this situation. join forces with Jolene to reach the big showdown and guarantee the security of the globe and her mother. Number 22, Spellforce, Conquest of Io. Although Spellforce Conquest of Io is situated in the same world as the first Spellforce game, your objectives will be very different this time. You will be a modest magician with lofty goals in this place. You'll need to send your minions out into the land of Io to locate rare magical artifacts that will boost your strength, since all you have to your credit is a tower. Your wizard tower gets bigger as your strength increases. To conquer everything in your new territories and vanquish all magical foes who attempt to hinder you, use strategy and strength.
And embrace your destiny. Yours is a path to pure power. If you succeed.
Number 21, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time Remake. Yes, we are aware that numerous remakes are being produced constantly and everywhere. The remake of Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, however, may be the one that fans are most anticipating, because the original was not only a classic, but also the start of the series. As the prince, you'll be on a mission to protect the princess from evil threats. With the help of your trusted blade, which controls the mythical Sands of Time, you'll be able to go back in time to correct errors or learn from your enemies to better withstand their attacks. Again, the initial game was a classic. Just picture it with today's graphics and improvements to the quality of life. Exactly.
I brought this on us.
You are brave and good.
Don't let go!
Quaco Lucia.
Number 20, Fable. It's true that a new Fable game is coming out, and it's being developed by the same team as some Forza games, and even uses their engine. So this should be intriguing. The irony of the Fable series is that each game had lofty objectives for how it would change the world of role-playing games and world-building in general, but they were never met. One has to question what the new team is cooking up to try and make it both true to the past games, while also being its own creation, now that they are in the position to fix things.
Where nature and magic live in perfect harmony. Not all stories have happy endings.
Heroes fought.
Number 19, Arc 2. If you played the first Arc game, you probably remembered that it was quite the experience and good manner. However, Arc 2 now aims to advance it in every sense imaginable. The main reason is that you won't know how you got there yourself, because Arc 2 will place you in a strange country where humans and dinosaurs coexist. You must now explore the area, strengthen yourself, and learn the background of everything you encounter while working with an Arc hero, voiced by none other than Vin Diesel. Number 18, Gothic Remake. And purposeful distinction separates a remaster from a remake, or more precisely, the wish to repaint or rebuild the game. The THQ Nordic team created a brand new studio specifically to reimagine the original Gothic game and port it to contemporary consoles for the Gothic Remake. They'd even created a playable teaser to gauge the response from players, and they vow to respect the original while also adding their own twist to make it more akin to contemporary RPGs. Fortunately, of course. Will they be successful or not? You'll learn when it's released.
Oh, no! Help!
Number 17, Path of Exile 2. Those who played Path of Exile when it first came out are aware that its creators have significantly expanded the game beyond simply being a fantastic ARPG. So much so that one genuinely questioned whether Path of Exile 2 would ever be created. The short answer is yes, and the details show how committed the team is to what came before. For instance, the 7-part storyline that will be in the game continues the events of the first one while retaining all the DLC and other elements that made the world unique.
1,000 years of dormant malevolence. We must hunt down the seed and put an end to this madness. If Rayclast is to survive.
Number 16, Valheim. In Valheim, a procedurally generated game with Norse legend as inspiration, you have one very difficult task to complete: survive. The twist is that you can go and attempt to survive with and alongside up to 9 other people in each playthrough. You'll need to investigate this mysterious country you found yourself in, gather resources, and then construct a new residence for your people, expanding it as required. But beware, there are dangers in this country, so you'll need to make weapons and armor to defeat them and achieve the desired peace. Number 15, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2. Many people were stunned by the first Hellblade game because it told a compelling tale of loss and psychological trauma that was contained in a psychedelic journey. Hellblade 2 is now positioned to advance that idea, even though we aren't yet completely aware of everything that will happen. One has to wonder what dangers and visuals we'll encounter because the game's trailer does appear to hint at more Norse mythology coming to life in a monstrous manner. Both the scope of the universe and the scope of combat are probably going to grow. You won't want to skip this journey, either way.
Smell their fear.
He's here. Death is coming.
Look at the bones.
Death is coming.
Look at the bones. That's going to be you. That's going to be everyone. No one's ever killed a giant.
Number 14, Wukong, Fallen Dynasty. Wukong Fallen Dynasty is just one of many video games that have portrayed Chinese history in various ways. You will assume the role of an unnamed militiaman in this game who must struggle to survive in a place where the shadows are encroaching. Survival is of utmost importance now that the dynasty that had maintained the calm for so long has fallen. You will engage in intense and well-planned battle as you take on demons and other abominations of the New World Order. To live or be defeated, you'll need to be swift with your blade. Will you be able to demonstrate how one person can alter destiny? Number 13, Nightingale. You're going to be transported from your homeworld to a Fey realm in Nightingale. Yes, you're no longer in Kansas, and this establishment won't treat you like a king or queen. You'll need to learn how to survive off the Fey's lands and build yourself a new home and way of life as you travel from realm to realm. Yes, there are a lot of worlds in this place that you'll enter at random as you pass through portals. Be aware that each one has a distinctive taste of its own. You'll have to pass through them to reach the last remaining settlement of people, through Nightingale.
Your people are cast asunder beyond the frontiers of your reality. Realms alive with monstrous beasts, eldritch creatures and dangers of which you cannot conceive.
Number 12, Eitr. Eitr is an action role-playing game that depicts players as Viking shield maidens in a gorgeously created fantasy world rich with Norse mythology. This video game features gorgeous pixel graphics, an isometric gameplay viewpoint, and some incredible visual effects and animations, in addition to intricately detailed Old Norse environments. Combat is designed to be difficult and heavily action-based in a manner akin to Spirits. We are cautiously optimistic that Eitr will be released in its entirety in 2023, despite the fact that it appears to still be in the midst of extensive development, with no release date yet declared. Observe this area. Number 11, Sea of Stars. In many respects, Sea of Stars is a love letter to all the role-playing games that laid the foundation for where we are today. It's obvious in the graphics, the conveying of the narrative, the combat system, and other aspects. You control 2 characters in the game who are attempting to save the world by fusing their sun and moon magics in order to repel the creatures that have taken over the entire planet. This game was created for those who appreciate the feel of an old-school RPG while also discovering new things. So when Sea of Stars releases the following year, jump in and appreciate. Number 10, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, a first-person action-adventure game that transports players back to the magnificent alien world of Pandora. This game is based on the Avatar IP from James Cameron's film series. Players will assume the role of one of Pandora's indigenous people, the Novi, and must travel through their strange and stunning world as part of an open-world quest. Despite taking place in the Avatar franchise's fantasy world, The game will have its own standalone plot and should be a huge hit with players who enjoy an immersive gaming experience. While a specific release date has not yet been revealed, we can anticipate seeing Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora at some point during the 2023-24 release frame. Number 9. Granblue Fantasy Relink. An action role-playing game called Granblue Fantasy Relink is scheduled to debut in 2023. Although in a different environment within that fantasy world, it will be set in the same world as the original Granblue Fantasy and is a continuation of the ongoing series. According to the few gameplay videos we've seen so far, the game itself immerses players in a brand new fantasy universe. Since Cid Games unveiled a teaser video for Granblue Fantasy Relink in December, there haven't been many updates. However, based on what we've seen thus far, the environments and combat both appear to have been carefully designed, and exploring the new environments should be very satisfying.
His name is Eitr, one of Avia's top 3, said to be the Skydam's strongest. Why are you here?
This has nothing to do with you.
Wow.
Number 8. The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, which was recently revealed for PC, will be a treat for anyone who adores the epic fantasy setting of J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. The emphasis of this upcoming fantasy game is on surviving and crafting in the mountainous caverns of Moria, which is where the Middle-earthian dwarves call home. Players will embark on a quest to recover Khazad Lostem's riches by venturing into the mines beneath the Misty Mountains. No two excursions into Moria will be the same because the game's mines and caverns are procedurally generated. This appears to be among the best upcoming fantasy games to play with pals in the coming year, because it will also support online co-op in addition to solo play. Number 7. Avowed. Avowed is set in the world of Pillars of Eternity, which intrigues fans of the series even though it may not sound like it or appear that way given its first-person viewpoint. However, the new focus, if you will, seems to be making this game more reminiscent of the Elder Scrolls since you'll be dealing with magic and swordplay from the first-person viewpoint. Something quite dissimilar to the Pillars of Eternity games. A former member of royalty attempting to reclaim the throne, dark forces brought to life by supernatural means, and other ideas are all hinted at in the game's first trailer. However, we'll have to wait for more information.
Are lost. Forsaken. And you must face the monsters our sins have borne.
Number 6. Redfall. Many people are interested in Redfall for various reasons, not the least of which is the fact that it is a vampire game. No, this time you won't be playing as a vampire, though there are other games that can help with that. Instead, you'll be in a town that has been overrun by vampires, and it will be your responsibility to stop their invasion before things get worse. The game will feature a lot of action, which you can play cooperatively if you like. The reason why the invasion is taking place in your hometown remains a secret, though. So begin playing as soon as it starts and work everything out.
You think it can't kill you anytime
How do we always get into this?
Number 5. Diablo IV. Since the release of Diablo III, fans have been screaming for a top-to-bottom good Diablo game. Diablo IV is the most recent in Blizzard's long series of dungeon crawlers, and there is a lot of hope that it will fulfill their expectations. Oh, and let's not even begin to discuss Immortal. Anyway, as the conflict between virtue and evil continues, you'll get the chance to create a character, select a class, and then dungeon crawl around the world defeating enemies, undertaking quests, and improving your skills. Although the game should appear better than ever on next-generation platforms, Blizzard has already let us down in the past, haven't they? Number 4. Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Don't be confused. Dragon Age 4 is the long-delayed BioWare game that many are hoping will release when it is meant to, not Dragon Age Dreadwolf. However, everything that BioWare does now is up for grabs. Anyway, Dragon Age is their fantasy role-playing game, and their earlier releases are proof of this. Years after the Inquisition, Dreadwolf will give us something fresh. There are still many unanswered questions regarding some aspects, but you can anticipate a lengthy plot, numerous dialogue options, numerous changes to the combat system, and yes, probably many characters to fall in love with. After all, it is a BioWare game, and we don't count Anthem among them. Number 3. Final Fantasy XVI. The eagerly anticipated 16th Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy XVI, will transport players on an adventure through Valisthea. Mountains of glistening crystal surround this fantastical universe. 6 factions are in charge, and the arrival of the icons will append their peaceful existence. The characters in this intricately woven tale, which is set against a background of political intrigue and magically gifted individuals, summon these creatures on behalf of humans known as dominants. Final Fantasy XVI, which will be released in the summer of 2023, is the only game you need to play if you want to immerse yourself in an epic fantasy journey. Number 2. The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. One of the best open-world exploration experiences is offered in the breath of the wild's mystical fantasy land of Hyrule. The game is frequently hailed as one of, if not the best video games of all time. It goes without saying that the gaming community has been eagerly awaiting a sequel for a while, and it appears that it will arrive shortly. Nintendo has confirmed that the world of Hyrule is being improved even further with the addition of the skies above being made available for exploration in the yet-to-be-titled sequel, which is slated for release in the spring of 2023.
But Link, I am not sure you'll be able to stop him.
Number 1. Black Myth, Wukong. Black Myth Wukong is undoubtedly one of the most highly anticipated and distinctive-looking fantasy games of 2023. Based on the 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West, which recounts the tale of Wukong, the monkey awakened to the void, also known as the fabled Monkey King. Players will battle a variety of mythical monsters as Wukong and use a variety of shape-shifting abilities. Although the game is still in production and we haven't seen any new footage since IGN shared a gameplay preview trailer back in August 2021, the action appears to take place in a fantastical version of ancient China. Black Myth Wukong, on the other hand, is rumored to be on schedule for a 2023 release, and if so, it looks to be a truly epic, lore-rich fantasy journey to get lost in. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the most exciting upcoming fantasy games. I hope you enjoyed exploring these worlds and getting a glimpse of the adventure to come. But now it's your turn. I want to hear from you. Which game are you most excited about? Did you agree with my rankings? Or do you think I missed a game that should have been on the list? Let me know in the comments below, and let's keep the discussion going. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming game content. Until next time, may your swords stay sharp and your spells never fail. See you in the next video.